On August 21st, 2009, a young mother wanted a night out. 21-year-old Rosemarie Bly had 2 children under the age of 2. Rose stayed home with the kids while her husband, whom she had just married in February of that year, worked. Rose told her husband that she was going to go visit her cousin, who lived near their home in St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin, but Rose never made it. Her case received a fair amount of local attention, but not a lot of clues, so eventually it faded from the public consciousness. That is, until 12 years later when her family was facing another tragedy, the disappearance of her niece, Summer Wells. When a person goes missing, there's a special kind of pain in the not knowing. I want to tell you the stories of those who never came home. Today, I want to tell you the story of Rosemarie Bly.
Wisconsin, mother disappeared in August, leaving barely a trace. One night in August, Rosemarie Bly disappeared. Her mother said the St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin, woman who disappeared less than a month before her 22nd birthday is a loving mother who would never leave her 2 young children, and police say no one they have talked to has said otherwise. Bly's car was found abandoned 4 days after she was reported missing, but there's been no trace of her. Investigators scoured her phone records, drained a lake, and followed up on several reports of sightings, none of which proved to be her. So where is she? If she walked away, if she harmed herself, if somebody else harmed her, there's just so many possibilities, said investigator Pete Johnson with the Polk County, Wisconsin, Sheriff's Office. Nothing right now gives any more weight to any one of those theories. The mystery of what happened to Bly has left those who care about her as stumped as those who are looking for her. I'm just at wit's end, because I don't know what happened, said her mother, Candy Harrer, of Grantsburg, Wisconsin. She doubts her daughter, who wanted to be a children's book author, would have left on her own. She was an amazing mother who never would leave her children, Harrer said. I think I've heard that from just about everybody we talked to, said Johnson, who is working the case with investigator Lisa Ditlefsen. Nobody believes that she would take off and leave her kids. Nothing unusual. Nothing appeared to be unusual in the days leading to Bly's disappearance, Ditlefsen said. It was August 21st when Bly left her home about 7:30 p.m. to meet a cousin in Cushing, Wisconsin, about 12 miles north of St. Croix Falls, her husband, Christopher Larson, told police. She never arrived. Larson reported her missing the next day. In the days that followed, police contacted anyone who might have talked to Bly before that August night, and no one said she had been thinking about running away. Investigators looked for clues in her cell phone records. The night she left was the last time it was used. Bly's car was found August 26th in a parking lot in Grantsburg, Wisconsin, about 15 miles north of Cushing and even farther from St. Croix Falls. The keys were missing from the white 2001 Pontiac Grand Prix, and nothing in the car indicated that a crime took place, police said. Police searched the Grantsburg area but found no new leads. Investigators are waiting on the results of DNA samples taken from Bly's vehicle, they said. A small lake about a block from where her car was found was drained. But again, no clues. The wait for anything indicating where Bly is has been taxing on her mother. Some days, I'm fine, some days, I'm a nervous wreck, Harrer said. Head trauma? Depression? Bly grew up in the Grantsburg area and graduated from Grantsburg High School. She moved to St. Croix Falls a few years ago, Ditlefsen said. She and Larson were married in February. They have 2 daughters, one 9 months old and the other 19 months. Bly enjoyed riding horses, and there has been speculation that she suffered a head injury during a ride shortly before her disappearance. Her mother said Bly fell from a horse about a week before she went missing. The last time the two talked, just 2 days before her disappearance, Bly complained of headaches, said Harrer, who said she advised her daughter to see a doctor. There was no evidence that she consulted with a doctor or that she had head trauma from the accident, Johnson said. People who know her also indicated Bly has had problems with depression, investigators said. And according to court records, her relationship with her husband has been rocky. Police have been called to the home in the past. Larson accused her of slapping him, and she accused him of putting her in a headlock and slamming her to the ground, according to police and court records. He filed for divorce in June, but they reconciled and he withdrew the petition. Police are trying to piece together what happened in the days before she went missing. Her husband appears to have entertained the idea that Bly left on her own. In September, he filed for divorce a second time. His attorney said Larson was concerned Bly would come back and take their children. Larson, 27, has since been granted temporary sole custody of the couple's daughters, court records state. I hope she's okay, and I hope she gets a hold of somebody, Larson said when reached by phone recently. He wouldn't discuss his wife's disappearance further. Police have said Larson is not a suspect. A polygraph test he was given after Bly went missing indicated he was answering questions truthfully, Polk County Sheriff Tim Moore said. The case stands completely open, and all possibilities are being pursued, Johnson said. First we have to find out where she is, before we have anything to have a suspect for, Johnson said. Looking for help, not rumors. Missing person flyers and posters went up around western Wisconsin and the Twin Cities following Bly's disappearance. There have been several sightings of her reported in Wisconsin, but hopes often were quickly dashed. A report of her at a store, for example, were disproved when surveillance tapes clearly showed it was not her. Still, police are asking anyone who may think they have seen Bly, or have any other information in the case, to give them a call. Something they think might not be important could be just what we need, said Johnson, who added that he is particularly interested in knowing whether Bly was meeting someone other than her cousin the night she went missing. While the FBI is not directly involved in the case, local detectives have been in contact with its agents to make sure their investigation is on the right track. As rumors swirl, police are encouraging people to take what they hear with a grain of salt. One of the rumors I hear every couple of days is that she was already found, Johnson said. We've had people telling stores to take down the missing person posters. I would urge the stores not to do that until they confirm it somewhere. Terror is left to wait for the day the posters are no longer needed. I'm hoping they will find her and bring her home, she said. Or at least that she would call me and say, Mom, I'm okay. Andy Rathbun can be reached at 651-228-2121. Have you seen her? Rosemarie Bly, of St. Croix Falls, was reported missing August 22nd. She is 5 feet tall, weighs 110 pounds, and has light brown hair and brown eyes. She has a tattoo of cherries on her right ankle. Her ears and belly button are pierced. Bly was last seen wearing jeans, a green V-neck sweater over a white tank top and flip-flop sandals. Anyone with information should call the Polk County Sheriff's Office at 715-485-8300.
I don't think it's too shocking to believe that two young people who had two children in less than, in like a year, and she's right out of high school, they had a rocky relationship. I don't think that's the most shocking thing,
no. Yeah.
regardless of their backgrounds.
Right.
But the nature of the rocky relationship differs based on who you ask,
Okay.
Rose's best friend at the time has said that Christopher was controlling and that it was his demand that she stay home with the children instead of her choice. She also accused Christopher of not letting Rose leave the house to see friends or family, though leaving the house to see friends or family is literally what she was doing the night that she disappeared.
Right.
So, again, these are just what people are saying. So even though they were having problems, nobody disagrees with that statement, they did seemingly want to make it work, and in February of 2009, they were married. So this is after both of the kids were born, but, they did decide to get married. Unfortunately, things only seemed to get worse from there. And shortly after their wedding, the couple's relationship also allegedly became physical. Christopher told police that she slapped him, while she accused her husband of putting her in a chokehold and slamming her to the ground. Now, this all happened in June of 2009, so just, like I said, a couple months after they got married, and the police were called out to the home. During this incident, though, only Rose was arrested.
That's interesting.
Yeah. She initially had a bench warrant out on her for misdemeanor disorderly conduct, but it was later amended to domestic abuse. In July of 2009, just 1 month before she went missing, Rose went to court and pleaded not guilty to the charge. However, she never had a chance to resolve the case fully. There have been accusations from, some people in Rose's life that Chris was abusive toward her. But the only police records are this, where she's the one who got arrested.
And you said she slapped him? Is it?
Yeah.
So I wonder if they arrested her because that was the only physical evidence of assault.
Yeah, I mean,
So, I mean, if we are to believe both sides,
right.
a chokehold wouldn't necessarily display any bruising.
Yeah.
Versus a slap could potentially, I mean, I guess depends on how hard the slap is or whatever.
Yeah.
There's potential for bruising or some sort of actual physical evidence, whereas a chokehold, there might not be physical evidence. I don't know. We weren't there. Who knows?
Right, but, back to your question of, like, is the pattern of, like, how she grew up, is that repeating herself? I mean, like I said, there were the rumors that her mother was violent toward her father.
Right.
So perhaps they were. I don't know. Now, around that same time, and from what I understand stemming from this incident, Christopher allegedly filed for divorce. And I only say allegedly because though this has been, like, widely reported, I couldn't find the court records that confirmed it. However, there was another court record from that time, a request for a paternity test. The paternity question was only for one of the children, and, the records show that there were a few related affidavits later that month, but then nothing in July, and then on August 6, 2009, there was a motion in order for dismissal due to the fact that, quote, parties have reconciled and are again residing together, end quote.
So continuing the cycle of potentially abusive, not healthy relationships.
Right, exactly. And, so I'm guessing that's why, I couldn't find the divorce filing because it clearly never went through, although this didn't go through either and this was there. But in any case, there were breakups and makeups and paternity questions, and it was just not a good scene all around. June 4th, 2009, there was a filing for, quote, findings of facts/conclusions of law with judgment of paternity, end quote. This was for one of their daughters, though I'm not sure which one, if it was the older one or the younger one.
They were so close.
Yeah.
I would hope it would be the first one, because,
yeah, right.
Because, like, who's stepping out, like, 2 days after having a kid?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'm not passing judgment here or anything, but, like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, in any case, the paternity question was only for one of the children. And, the records show that there were a few related affidavits later that month, but then nothing in July. And then on August 6, 2009, there was a motion in order for dismissal due to the fact that, quote, parties have reconciled and are again residing together, end quote.
So continuing the cycle of potentially abusive, not healthy relationships.
Right, exactly. And, so I'm guessing that's why, I couldn't find the divorce filing because it clearly never went through, although this didn't go through either and this was there. But in any case, there were breakups and makeups and paternity questions, and it was just not a good scene all around.
Sister missing. Did you want to say anything? Because we know that this is the second time you've dealt with a heartbreak that you don't have an answer to with your sister missing. Did you want to say anything about your sister being missing or recall any of that?
When my sister got missing, I was in between Arkansas and Tennessee. I don't know all of what happened or what did happen, but I hope that they find her too. herself and all that.
Know that she was abducted.
Well, because she was in like Wisconsin, she had two or three kids. I can't remember. She had 2 or 3 kids, and she was gonna go like to a bar to meet somebody or something. I don't know. And then they found her car. Oh, I think she worked at a gas station. And they found her car parked somewhere. I don't know, but she was never seen again. And there's no way in hell that she would leave her baby.
Oh. Okay, so I was talking about Summer, but you mean you think both of them?
I thought you said.
Well, we were talking about Rose also. That's right. I should have. But you.
Oh, it's all good.
Did you know Candace's sister, the one that went missing?
You know what? This is what I knew about Kim.
Well, how do you know that she was abducted?
Well, because she was in like Wisconsin.
And it's horrible. It's hard to deal with. Very hard to deal with. And my life will never be normal without knowing where my daughter is.
On August 21st, 2009, Rose Marie Bly left her residence in St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin, believed to be en route to Cushing, just a short 6-mile drive to the east. The 21-year-old mother of 2 never made it. Days later, Bly's 2001 Pontiac Grand Am was found in the village of Grantsburg, nearly 17 miles north of her house, with no explanation as to how it got there. No one has seen or heard from her since. There hasn't been a day that has gone by when Candace Hare hasn't wondered where her youngest daughter is, or if she's okay.
With a missing child, there's a hole in your heart that can't be filled. And it's an impossible journey every day to wake up and wonder where she is.
Just trying to figure out where my daughter is. It's horrible. It's not a good feeling. It's just, I wish I knew where she was.
My name is Brent Walk, and I'm the Polk County Sheriff.
When Rose Bly went missing, Brent Walk was a patrol sergeant with the Polk County Sheriff's Department. Now Sheriff, Walk and his office have made finding Bly a top priority. To date, the Sheriff's Department has investigated more than 200 tips and have interviewed more than 150 people. Still, the same question remains. Where is Rose Bly?
But there was one early clue. Just days after she went missing, police found Bly's car here in this public parking lot in Grantsburg, about 30 miles north of where she lived. But still, there was no sign of Bly herself. Investigators at least recovered evidence and DNA from the car in Grantsburg. That town still remembers the case.
It's in the back of people's minds.
Megan Schauenberger was only a few years younger than Bly when she disappeared and wants to see this case solved.
I mean a lot, especially for this town. This town itself has been through a lot, but her family.
Bly's children have never known their mother.
For being missing, I'll wait for a few people to come on, and I'm going to show you where she lived with her husband when her husband reported her missing. It's out there in the middle of nowhere. Right down the street from them is a bar. This is Wolf Creek Bar. So I'm going to wait for a few people to jump on, and then I'm going to take you on a drive to Rose Marie Bly's home. Can you see my reception okay? I'm out here, but there is cell phone service. I actually made a video, so I'll be posting that video. This is like farmland out here. It's farmland out here. But I want to show you guys where Rose Marie Bly lived with her husband, Christopher, before she reported him missing. And then her vehicle was about 30 miles north in Grantsburg. So I am in Wisconsin right now. I'm in St. Croix, Wisconsin. For any one of you guys that are not following the Rose Marie Bly case, missing 8/21/2009, I'm going to take you to her house right now in my car, of where this is It's crazy, and also it just makes me wonder if she's in this area. So just stay with me here. I'm gonna take you to Rosemary Bly. This is right down the street from her. Yeah, I got the tire issue fixed. Thank you. So this is the Wolf Creek Bar. Now this is coming up here. This is River Road. This is River Road. It's right along the Minnesota-Wisconsin border. I take you right down here. Stay with me here because this is interesting. So right up here is where Rosemary Bly lived. She actually lived. Now look at all this corn. Look at all this corn. But this is her home coming up here on the left. This is where Rosemary Bly lived. Right here. In this house right here. That house right there. This is where she lived. Dead end road down there. It just goes back into the woods. This is the home. This is the home of Rosemary Bly. She lived right here. She lived right here. And the home is for sale. The home is for sale. Rosemary Bly lived right there with her husband. Look at this. There's a tractor trailer here. But the home is for sale. Look, there's a sign. The home is for sale. And there was a bar down the street. And then right across the street from them is just, look how rural it is out here. Look at the back of their house. Like it just goes on and on and on with just cornfields. I'm gonna let this car pass me. No, her husband does not live there anymore. Matter of fact, if you read Rosemary Bly's case, the husband filed for divorce right after she went missing. It's just all corn. It's cornfield out here. So that and the husband's lawyer claimed that he filed for divorce because he was scared for their children. Scared for their children that she would come back and take the children. But look at it out here. Let me spin it around. Now earlier, I went down a road here. Right here. I went down this road. I went down that road. That takes you to the river. And right over there, that hill over there, that's Minnesota. That is the border of Minnesota. That is the border of Minnesota. But what I find odd is Rosemary Bly's car was found in Grantsburg, right down the street from where Candace Harrer lived. And now knowing that I'm out here in the middle of nowhere makes me wonder if Christopher or someone in this area here actually killed her and disposed her somewhere nearby. I mean, that just goes back and back and back. And then planted the car further north to kind of, lead people off the trail. That's definitely a possibility. I mean, we've heard from Allie and Sherry, Hunter's mom and grandmother, said that Candace told them allegedly that Rosemary Bly was buried under cement at one of their old family homes, which is in Grantsburg. Her car was found down the street from that area, so that's definitely a possibility here. But I had to come out here myself to see, hey, what does this area look like? Now, the home where Rosemary Bly lives, and I'm going to go back and take you back because there's more people jumping on so you guys can see. So I'm going to spin this car around. And I'm going to show you the home again. That home is for sale. The home is for sale. And it's right down here. It's where that building is right there, or that barn. That's their home here. Honestly, I'm surprised. It's been raining all day here. Look, pine trees. I don't know if they can. There's a lot of traffic. I'm gonna wait till this car goes past me, and then I'm just gonna go slow past their home. There's a car behind me, so I'm just gonna wait a minute. But yeah, I got a bunch of flyers. I got a bunch of flyers here of Rosemary Bly. A bunch of flyers. this area there, and I went through her hometown, that small town, St. Croix. I don't know if I'm saying this right, either St. Croix or St. Croix Falls. It's a little historical town. It's right along the river, and Minnesota's a mile that way, and their home is here, or where they live. They don't live there now, but at the time when Rose Marie Bly went missing, it was right here. Yes, my car, I got my tires situated. Thank you for asking. But it's this place right here. This is the home. It's like a farm. But you read in the thing, it was like, if you read in the news, they were like an apartment. So I don't know if there was apartments there or they were renting out. But you see, look, for sale. This is it too. This is the address. This is the address they were living at. I mean, look. Camper there. I'll take you down this way just to show you. This is like a dead end. It's a dead end road. Stay with me. There's their home. There's the home there, and looking back at their home, they got horses. Now remember, Candace said, Kara said that she had a head injury. Remember, she said that right before Rose Marie Bly went missing, she was complaining about headaches and stuff like that. Well, it looks like they had horses. Looks like they had horses because there's horses there. So, too many places to dump a body. It's like a needle in the haystack. Look at all this, land back here. Oh, I gotta watch out. All this land back here.
I tried to avoid this area, and I can't. It just draws me back, and I don't know why.
Years of worry and wondering. A full decade Rose's children have had to spend without their mother. Someone knows something. Someone has the key. Everyone agrees it's time for this mystery to be solved. It's time for Rose to come home.
Not sure which way, but she's out there somewhere. Tired not to cry. Even just out here looking, it just brings tears to her eyes. Not knowing what actually really happened that day.
Rosie, if you're out there, I still have the same number.